Good afternoon, people. Welcome back. We are looking now, this is the first JEE NEET lecture. We'll start with chapter 1, electric charges and fields. I'm going to give you a brief brush up of what we are going to do in this chapter, what we're going to do in this lecture. And before we do that, let's brush up this chapter, some tips actually. The first tip is quantization. Q is any. Every charge in the universe is an integral multiple of one fundamental charge. That is the charge of the electron, and everybody knows the value of E is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. And N is an integer. So Q is Ne is my first tip. Second, when charge flows from one body to another, only electrons will move from one body to another. Only electrons can be transferred, which results in charging. Usually a body is electrically neutral. That means it has got an equal number of positive charges and negative charges. If by any chance any of the charges were to differ, then the body would become electrified, the body would become charged. Third, this is called maximum charge transfer theorem. It says if I have a charge Q, one body of charge Q, and I have to divide it into two parts such that the force between these two parts is maximum, then this can happen only if this charge Q is equally divided. That is, each part is Q by 2. This is called maximum charge transfer theorem. Thirdly, if charge Q is given to two identical uncharged bodies or uncharged spheres, then charge between them will divide equally, so that when both bodies are charged, both will have an equal charge, that is Q by 2 each. And finally, the superstar of this chapter, the idea on which the entire chapter is based, Coulomb's law. It states that the force between two point-like stationary charges, Q1 and Q2, separated by distance r, is directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, which gives us the most important equation. F is K Q1 Q2 by R square. Here K is Coulomb's constant, value being 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square, and we can write K also as 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by R square. I'm sure you know epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space, value being 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. So if both charges are in air, then the force between them will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by R square. But let's raise the question now. Now we are moving on to more technical ideas. What if both charges are not placed in air? What if there is a dielectric medium of constant K between them? What would happen then? Let me find out, let me tell you. So if both charges Q1 and Q2 are placed in a medium, not in air, in any other medium having a dielectric constant K, then case 1, let's talk about case 1. Two charges Q1 and Q2, and they are kept in a medium which has a dielectric constant. This is the medium separating both charges, and it has got dielectric constant K. This is big K, that was small k, the Coulomb's constant. Distances r. What would be the force now? The force now please look carefully, F dash 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, and here comes the dielectric constant K, and Q1 Q2 by R square. Here K is the dielectric constant. Let me raise this notch further. Let me take this more technical. Case 2. What if, let us say I got two charges, Q1 and Q2, distances are, but there is not one medium, but there are two media. Now how does that happen? Look here please. I have both of them enclosed and such that this medium has dielectric constant K1 and this is R1, and this medium has dielectric constant K2 and distance between them is R2. Now what do we do here? What is going to be the force now? I have got a very beautiful equation for you. Look at this equation carefully. The electric force now is F dash, please pay attention, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2. Can you see these terms remain same everywhere? It is only this term here that is going to make a difference. So look here, root of R1, R1 root of K1 plus R2 root of K2 the whole square. And if there are n media, for n different media between the charges, what would be the force between them? The force would be F dash is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2, and this is just going to be extended to n times. As an assignment, I want you to use this formula. This is, say, let us say equation number 1. This is equation number 2. And this is equation number 3. As an assignment, put R1 and R2 both to be R by 2. Let this distance be equal. Let K1 be equal to K and let K2 be equal to 4K. Then find the force between them. Assume initial force to be F. That is, initial means force in air to be F. So this is how I want you to do this. I want you to use equation number 2. I want you to put this data and I want you to find the answer to this sum. And then you will be able to find out. I'll be giving you more assignments like these, wherein you'll be able to put different values and maybe use this equation or this equation, and you will be able to find the force between the two charges. In the meantime, you can just have a look and you can use equation 2. Put this data in illustration number 2. Put in equation number 2. All right, let's go on to the next idea. This was the first idea. The second idea, this is a very important idea now. Let me tell you, these JEE people and all, they use this idea too much. So I'll call it tip 2. They have told me that there are two uncharged spheres. I'm giving you the broad data. Hang from a point by strings of equal length. Now, a total of 4 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb charge is deposited on them, and now the angle between them is 60 degree. If lengths of the strings are 20 centimeter, find the mass of each sphere. Let me break this down for you. What is the initial idea? Okay, the initial idea is I have got two spheres, two ordinary spheres, which are hanging from a point, and there is no repulsion between them because there is no charge on them. Now, let us say I put Q amount of charge on them. The moment I put charge, you agree this charge will be equally distributed between both these identical spheres. Due to now being charged, they will repel each other. Till there was no charge, there was no repulsion. Now there is charge, so there will be repulsion. This is the case with ordinary citizens also. Till they have no access to riches, they are friends. The moment things happen, they are no longer friends. So, you want this to be up? Okay. So these are two charges now. This total angle is 60, they have told me. And let us say each has now charge Q and Q. Now, let me get the whole idea of this. Let me call this theta. So, but of course, vertically opposite angle, this is also theta. The tension in the string is T. So, I am going to make components of this. जिसके साथ theta, उसके साथ cos. So, this is going to be T cos theta, and this is going to be T sin theta. Now, if this sphere, I'm going to make forces only for one sphere because the second sphere would be redundant, it would be same. If this body has mass m, then weight of this body would be mg, it would be vertically downwards. And since both these spheres are separated by distance r, let us say, then the repulsion between this and this would act in this direction. So this is your repulsive force, Fe. Can you see the sphere is in equilibrium? So in equilibrium, now these are very important steps. Please look carefully. Can you see T sin theta is balancing the repulsive force Fe? T sin theta is equal to Fe, which is, everybody knows Fe is K Q1 Q2 by R square. Both are same. So K Q square by R square, we'll call this equation 1. And T cos theta is balancing mg. Dividing 1 and 2. T sin theta by T cos theta is KQ square by R square mg. T goes away and sin by cos is going to be tan. So tan theta is KQ square by R square mg. Somebody will ask me, sir, is this numerical over? Nobody, it is not. Because here, understand, you might be given theta, you might be given Q and R, you might have to find M. The question here relates to that. Or sometimes they might give you M, they might give you R, they might give you Q. You might have to find theta, or it might be any of the n number of permutations, combinations that those people so desire. But this is going to be the format for every numerical having this type. So what we'll do is we'll put the data, and into this we will find out the value of the mass m. So let me try out and put the data here. Let me see what we have transpired. Achha, if you look here, theta is half of 60. So it is 60 by 2, which is 30. Also, these strings are 20 centimeter long. This is 20, this is 20. And if you are a mathematics aficionado, you know this is 60, this is 20, this is 20. This has to be 20 because this is an equilateral triangle. So R is also how much? 20 centimeter, which is 2 into 10 raised to minus 1 meter. And what else do we have? Q. This is an important idea. How much was the total charge? 4 into 10 raised to minus 7. So 2Q, Q plus Q 2q is equal to q. So how much is small q? Isn't it q by 2? Which is 4 into 10 raised to minus 7 by 2, which is 2 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. And we are going to use 1, 2, 3 data in that, and we are going to find m. So let me utilize equation 3. I'm going to rub the board a bit here. So we are going to find out the value of m. We are going to rub this bit here. And let us use that equation. Let me rub this whole thing also. From equation 3, let us isolate m. M is kq square by r square g, and tan theta is tan 30. And let me now put the values. 9 into 10 raised to 9. How much is q? 2 into 10 raised to minus 7, the whole square, over r. R is 2 into 10 raised to minus 1, the whole square. I always take g as 10, and tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So root 3 goes up. Let me open brackets. 4 into 10 raised to minus 14. Root 3 is 1.7. And this is 4 into 10 raised to minus 2 into 10. 4 goes away. 17 9s is 15.3. 9 minus 14 is minus 5. Minus 5 plus 1 is minus 4. So your mass comes out to be 1.53 into 10 raised to minus 3 kg. This is your answer. Actually, this is a very wonderful sum from the worksheet. And if you are so interested, you might be able to write down certain numericals from the worksheet resembling this. Worksheet numbers 3, similar type. You can solve out. My assignment will follow. Worksheet numbers 3 and 20 are based on the similar concept. And this I did from the worksheet. I guess this was a number which I don't know, but you can check this out from the worksheet itself. So this was a very lovely example. Let us proceed to another example, which is also a very lovely example. This is also from the worksheet. Let us do this. In the numerical that we are going to do now, this is a bit tricky, but provided if you are paying attention, it will not seem too tricky for you. They have given me, what have they given me? They have given me a lot of knowledge. Now who is they? They is the ideas. The ideas give you a lot of knowledge, and based on that knowledge, you devise a formula, and utilizing the knowledge and the formula, you go out and solve the sum. So that's the entire idea. So what is this? Is called tip 3. We are looking through so many tips. 2 copper spheres. Are there 2 copper spheres? Yes, there are 2 copper spheres, and they are 1 gram each. Okay. Now the 2 copper spheres are 1 gram each. 2 spheres, 1 gram each, are 1 meter apart. Now 1% electrons out of the total number of electrons are removed from each sphere. What is the force? What is the electric force acting between them? They have hinted, they have given us atomic weight of copper, which is 56, I think 63.54 gram per mole. They have also given atomic number, which is 29. Now we have to solve this sum. This is tricky. it will involve your understanding the idea. Now, what is the idea? Two spheres, right? Two spheres, 1 gram, 1 gram. And they are 1 meter apart. Had they been neutral, there would have been no force acting between them. But they have told us that 1% electrons have been removed from each sphere. Before taking the whole sphere, let us take one atom. You know, they have given me atomic number, that is 29, which means in one atom there are 29 protons and 29 electrons. So out of those 29, they have removed 1%. Please be careful. There are 29 electrons in an atom, as they have said here. 1% electrons have been removed. So all idea is based on this. How much is 1% of 29? You will tell me, sir, it is 0.29. Okay, so 0.29 electrons are removed from each atom. If 0.29, if suppose one electron would have been removed, how much charge would have been removed? You would say, sir, Q is Ne, put N as 1, so Q is equal to E. So if 0.29 electrons are removed, how much is the charge removed? So charge on each atom, or charge removed, the amount of charge removed will show up here. Charge on each atom is 0.29 E. Understand this. Had the atomic number would be 35. Tell me what would have this number been? First thing, 1% of 35 would have been 0.35. So charge on each atom would have been 0.35 E. This is a very important idea. Now, this is the charge on each atom. Now, how many atoms are there in this sphere? इतना चार्ज एक एटम में से कितने एटम हैं इसमें? Now that will be found out using this idea. 63.54 gram per mole. That means 1 mole atoms will have a mass of 63.54 gram. So look here, please. In 63.54 gram, there are 1 mole. That means 6.02 into 10 raised to 23 atoms. So, what is the mass of a sphere? 1 gram. So, in 1 gram sphere, how many atoms are there? A simple case of standard 7 cross multiplication. So, number of atoms in a 1 gram sphere, cross multiply this and enjoy your life. This is 6.02 into 10 raised to 23 divided by 63.54. These are two very important pieces of data that we have here. Charge on each atom 0.29 E and number of atoms is this much. So if one atom carries X charge, then N number of atoms will carry how much charge? N into X. So my important idea, charge on each sphere. Each sphere, now I'm looking at the total Q is, I'm going to put this in here, 6.02 into 10 raised to 23 divided by 63.54 into how much charge? 0.29 E. This is my charge on each sphere. So charge on each sphere is Q and the distance is 1 meter. Coulomb's law comes to our rescue. You know Coulomb's law? I'm sure you do. F is equal to K Q1 Q2 by R square. I'm going to use that right here, right now. I'm sure you're doing that in your notebooks as well. And you're utilizing this data. Why don't you start using Coulomb's law? And why don't you put the values of K, Q as we have seen here and R, which is 1 meter, and put them to good use. No? Okay, I'll do it. I'm good in doing that. So now the force, the electric force is my favorite equation in all the world, kq square by r square. Before you multiply, you put values, do not forget to put q. Q is out here. 6.02 into 10 raised to 23 into 0.29e. We will have to open brackets. 0.54. Now somebody will ask me, sir, this was gram. You didn't convert. This is also gram. So why should I convert? If this would have been gram and the sphere mass would have been in kg, I would have converted. But both are in gram. So the idea resists. K, let's get back. 9 into 10 raised to 9. R is how much? 1 meter. So 1 square. And let me now go on opening the brackets. I'll treat 6.02 as 6. I don't like any other treatments. Into 0.29. I'm going to slowly, steadily take 0.29 as 0.3 minus 19 upon. We'll get to a rough idea, which is all we need. 23 minus 19 is 4. So 10 raised to 4 ka square will come over. 16 6 that's 96, 9.6. So 9.6 into 0.29 is 0.3 upon 63.54. I'm sure you will be able to work this out. This is 9.6, this is 63. Let me get a rough hand ballpark figure out here. 10 raised to 4 square is 10 raised to 8, and 9.6 into 3, 9.6 into 3, that is 28 point something. 6 3s are 18, 28.8, nearly 28.8, and 28.8, and this is 63.54. This is 30, this is 63. So this is nearly 2.5 times, nearly 2.3 or 2.4 would also suffice. Doesn't matter. You can take this as 30, you can take this as 63. So 30 by 63 is 1 by 21. So nearly 1 by 21 is nearly 0.45, 0.46. And square that up. And 9 and 8 is 17. 0.45 का square is 0.5 का square से थोड़ा सा कम. That is 0.25 से थोड़ा सा कम. 0.22, 0.20, nearly 0.2. So the force F, I've gone so far. We are lacking space. Let us rub this off. Let us take this also there. So this is 9 into 10 raised to 9, and 10 raised to 8 came out here, and 0.29 is 0.3, 16 6 are 6 6 are 36, and 9.6 it was. 9.6 into 0.3 was how much? 6 3s are 18 and 9 3s are 27, 28.8. So 28.8 nearly taken as 30, and this is 63, the whole square. So 9 into 10 raised to 9. I hope we have looked at every possible entity in the calculation. 6.02, yes, we have done that. So 1 by 21, that's 0.2, nearly 0.2. So that's 4.5. Hey, 9 2s are is 18. So it's 1.8 into 10 raised to 9 and 8 is 17. So this much force is acting between the two charges. Based on this idea itself, I've got a couple of worksheet numericals for your perusal. Assignment, let's put them as assignment. Assignment, or you can put them as to do. Worksheet numbers 17, worksheet number 17 is a good shot. You can utilize the same amount of idea and you can do worksheet number 17. This was tip 3. Let us go to tip 4. Tip 4, I think we already saw when we were doing the additional exercise numericals of chapter 1. And in that, what is the idea? The idea is pretty simple. Everybody knows that if a charge Q is placed in an electric field E, it will experience a force. Okay. Oh, we use that as a do we remember? But it's a big question whether you remember. So, if charge Q is placed in an electric field, it experiences a force which is given as F is equal to QE. Utilizing this idea, we also saw that there were accelerations and stuff. So acceleration A was F by M, which was QE by M. And we also saw that if the charge Q is positive, force and acceleration are in the direction of electric field, and if charge Q is negative, force and acceleration are opposite to the direction of the electric field. No doubt about that. We also saw this diagram. I'll just go through this. This is the electric field. And if this is the positive charge Q, in which direction would it go? So it would go in, it would experience force and acceleration in this direction. So, okay, somebody would also ask me, sir, what if this charge already had some initial velocity, let us say V0, and then it was put in the electric field? Okay, then final speed V is V0 plus AT, which is V0 plus, since it was already going in the same direction, so acceleration will also in the same direction, QE by N into T. Second case, this is the first case. Second case, I already have, let us say, a negative charge. And this negative charge was moving in this direction with the speed V0. And suddenly it was acted by the electric field. Which direction will it experience the force? Opposite direction. So, velocity is here, this direction, acceleration is here. So, what is the final speed? Final speed, ladies and gentlemen, look here please. V is V0 plus AT, no doubt. But V0 is upwards, which I'll consider positive, and acceleration is downwards. So I will have to take it as negative. So final speed is this. They also sometimes ask you the ratio of the kinetic energies, which can be found by using the simple idea that V is equal to AT. If initial speed is 0, then final speed V is AT, which is, we call it QET by M. Also, as a matter of fact, you also saw these two equations. Distance traveled is half AT square, which is half QE by M into T square. Very lovely equations. And time T was root of, you can use this equation here and find time, 2md by QE. But what I want to do in this JEE lecture is not this. This is just a normal idea. But in the JEE stuff, we look at charges moving in a direction perpendicular to the electric field. So how is that going to happen? I will show you that in a minute. You can just look at this, the various equations. Now, charge moving perpendicular, how does that work out? I'm sure you still remember projectile motion from your 11th standard days. I hope you've not forgotten 11th standard was projectile motion. In projectile motion, the most important idea was that velocity and acceleration were perpendicular to each other. Your velocity was along the x-axis, the acceleration was along the y-axis. So this is the idea. So case 3, if charge enters perpendicularly to the electric field. Let us say this is my electric field. Uniform, but of course. And there is this charge Q here. I'm sure you can see this charge. And it is entering with an initial speed V0. Now understand this. Electric field is along Y. Charge is moving along X. If so, acceleration, force and acceleration will be along Y. Constant speed is along X. If acceleration and velocity are perpendicular, so let me write here. Velocity is along X direction and acceleration is along Y direction, that is along this direction, acceleration. What will be the type of motion of this particle? Will it go straight? No, it won't. How can it go straight? Because somebody is trying to push it upwards. So if something is going like this and some agency is trying to put it upwards, then what will be the type of motion? Look at this. It's going out here and somebody is pushing, pushing, pushing. Then it will be a projectile type motion. Ooh, what a beautiful path. This is a parabolic path. It looks beautiful, no doubt. But what are the parameters? How much distance? Let us say till here. It has traveled distance y. And from here, it has traveled distance x. I want to know the values of x and y. How are we going to go about it? Don't worry. First, along x direction. By along the x direction, what is the initial speed? It is v0, sir. Is there any acceleration along the x direction? No acceleration. Time is how much? T. And how much distance has it covered along x? It is x. So let's call it d. So using the formula, d is v0t plus half at square, and putting a as 0, what are we going to land with? How much is d? It is x. v0 is v0 and time is t. Oh, lovely. So how much is t? It is x by v0. We utilize this as equation number 1. Now, along the y direction, danger direction, is there any initial speed along y? No, sir. So v0 is 0. How much is acceleration? Sir, acceleration we remember, qe by m. Time is how much? T. And how much distance has it traveled, Baba? If you look from here, in the y direction, hasn't it traveled this much distance? This is y. So, utilizing the same idea again, but this time, v0 goes away. I don't know where it goes. Y is half qe by m into t square. I think it's time now to put t from here to here. Put 1 into, so what do you land up with? Y is half qe by m into, what is t? This is x square by vo square. Ain't this a lovely piece of idea? Beautiful. In this, they can ask you anything. They might, give you x, they might give you q, e, m, v0, and they might ask you to find y. Or they might give you y, they might give you q, e, m, and v0, they might ask you to find x. But whatever be the case, the mission template remains the same. If you are looking carefully, Then let me show you a sample problem from the Arihant textbook, and you can look at this first, and I'll solve the sample problem for you. This is sample problem number 11 from the Arihant Master Resource book by D.B. Singh. And it is a very lovely idea. If you have that book, you might as well open it up. Or if you don't have the book, then I am there. I will write down the problem for you. I will put down the data for you. So let me put down the data. They have given us what? They have given us the distance between the two plates as 0.5 centimeter, 1 centimeter rather, and the potential difference V as 1200 volts. Now you will tell me, sir, we have never seen potential difference. You are about to see that in chapter number 2, but don't hassle, I'm still alive. I'll get you out of this mess. Then we have the kinetic energy of the charged particle is 2000 eV, electron volt. I'm sure you know 1 eV is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joule. And the x, the distance traveled in the horizontal direction, you can call it the length of the plate, is 1.5 centimeter. And they have asked you the deflection in the y direction. As easy as it looks. Here everything is there. But now you will tell me, sir, we don't have M, we don't have V0. Okay, don't be hassled. Sir, we don't have E also. Okay, let's put it down as a note. This is only for this solving. Don't worry about this formula, how, kaise aaya, kya aaya. We'll do all that later. V is ED. So E is V by D. Alright, be careful. By D's are in existence here. So D is 1 centimeter, that's 1 into 10 raised to minus 2. And I'm going to put the reckoner on the line. So 12 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per Coulomb, or you might also call it volt per meter. No issues. Also, kinetic energy. Another 11th standard idea, but beautiful nonetheless. You know, kinetic energy is half mv square. One small peep at this formula tells me, sir, mv0 square hai na? So enjoy kita. So mv0 square is twice the kinetic energy. ये सब पुट करने में जाने वाला है. So from equation 3 क्या पता है हमको? Y is half. Let us write it there, you know, on the opposite end. So it will be much better that way. We know the equation. So the equation is Y is half QE by M into X square by V0 square. I'm going to substitute MV0 square here. ये रहा 2K. And now a bag full of substitutions. I'm sure you don't run away from substitutions. They are God's gift. And if you can do them right, God is waiting for you at the other end. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि भगवान को प्यारे हो जाओ. We don't worry about that. It's an electron actually. So charge is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. The electric field, where it is 12 into 10 raised to 4. We have been given X 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 2 squared, and twice kinetic energy 2000 and EV 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Looks easy peasy Japanesey. So we'll cut things that come into our way. It's cut. What else? 2 2s are 4. So this is 3. And if you are willing to open brackets with me, come with me. 1.5 squared is 2.25. 10 raised to minus 4 over, this is 2 here, into 10 raised to 3. 4 minus 4, again another God's gift, gone. 3 into 2.25 is 6.75. This 10 raised to 3 goes up, never comes down. So Y is 3.375 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. or you can call it 3.375 millimeter. Another beautiful sum that has been cracked wide open, and you might as well look into it. And if you want to do more sums like this, let me tell you, worksheet number 31 is on the same genre. Also, Arihant Master Resource Book, round 2, number 75. This is of chapter 1, but of course, you can check that also. And finally, I'm going to go to the last idea of the day. That is going to be the most important idea of the day. But I think we'll check that out in the next lecture. In this lecture, we saw a number of beautiful things, and I am going to follow this up with a list of numericals that you can do utilizing this idea. I want you to do them. That will be your homework. And based on that, some days later, we will look at the second lecture of this chapter 1, electric charges and fields. And in that, we shall be looking at flux, we shall be looking at charge distributions and stuff like that. So till then, stay tuned and happy solving. Thanks a lot.